Okay, I'm going to be demonstrating how to use this PZ map tool I made and the things it can do. So first off, where can you get it? You can download it from this URL here, which I'll leave in the description. It'll take you to this page, which will have instructions, same instructions I'll basically be giving you in this video, and the download link here near the bottom. And once you download it, just unzip it anywhere and open up the folder, and it should look something like this. It might have not as many of these folders here. These are just backups I made, which I'll be showing you how to make. So to set it up, the first thing you need to do is set the directory of your map files. So if you're using this tool on a server online, then you would set this to wherever the folder is that your server is reading the map from. And if it's single player, it'll also work. Just find your single player save files, which is in the case of Steam, it's something like user is your username, Zomboid, saves is where they moved it recently, and well, if you're playing an online server somewhere, then yours would be in multiplayer with the name or IP address of the server. But if it's single player, it'll be in the sandbox or something, and then it'll have the name you chose when you started the game. So for me, I'm using this one. WP stands for West Point. So I just make sure that it's set here with a trailing slash, and you also need a space here, and then finish with this semicolon. Make sure you don't delete that, leave it there. And for some of you, you might get some DLL errors upon trying to run this. If that happens, go back to this page here, and you need to download and install these C++ redistributable packages for Visual Studio. So if you install that, then your missing DLL errors should go away, and then you should be able to start it, and you should be able to see your options here, which I'll go through now. Option number 1 and number 2, they kind of go together, and they're kind of hard to understand because they're not named very well. They could have been named a lot better. But basically, spawn point / loot respawn point is just an area defined on the map and given a name. So if I go through, or if I choose option 1, fix loot respawns. Fix, what fix means is just refresh it, restore it, reset it to its original state. So I have these 11 spawn points already defined, which are mainly just buildings, the hardware store, the Gigamart, the pharmacy. But I won't use these. I'll make a new one, so you know how to make a new one. So add a spawn point, option 2. So first it wants a name. I will add Twiggy's Spar here. So I'll call it Twiggy or whatever, doesn't matter. So now anytime this program asks you for a coordinate, it's going to first ask you for the X and for the Y after the X. So from the map you can see the coordinates. As long as you click on map coordinates here, then when your mouse moves over somewhere, you know what coordinate you're on. Just the one thing to know is that these coordinates you see up here, they are specific down to the very tile you're standing on. Like one tile would be like the thickness of this here between the gravel and the building here. That's one tile thickness there. Obviously its length is longer than one tile. And why am I saying this? Because the map tool deals with map chunks, not with map tiles. And you don't really need to know what any of that means. You just need to know that you have to ignore the last digit that you see up here. So it says X is 12051 and Y is 6805. Well, when you enter that coordinate, you would enter 1206, forget the 3, forget the last digit as your X, and then same thing for the Y, just enter the first 3 and ignore the last digit, because the last digit just represents which tile in the map chunk you're dealing with. A map chunk is 10 by 10 tiles. So if you counted these tiles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 10, then you know that size of a square is a whole map chunk. But anyway, so I'm sure that's kind of confusing, so we'll just do it. So we want the first point. So it's going to ask for 2 points. Why is it going to ask for 2 points? Because 2 points make a rectangle. See, if this red spot here is point number 1, and this is point number 2 on the right side, the program is going to select everything in this rectangle here. So it makes a rectangle from these 2 points you give it, and it selects all that in between. So you always give the left side point first. So I want it somewhere around here. So I move my mouse there, and the coordinates show up there. So before I move my mouse, I'm going to type in the coordinates, which it says 12056, but I ignore the last digit, so I'll erase it, the 6. Push enter. Now it wants the Y, which is the other side of the X, which is 6807, but I ignore the last digit, so I delete that. And that's the starting point. And now it wants the second point, which is always the rightmost point of the area you're trying to select. So I'll stop my mouse somewhere around here. Always kind of overdo it. If you underdo it, you're going to chop the building in half. So I'll overdo the guess here, and that says 1207. It says 1207.8, but I ignore the last digit. And the Y is 679. And so now the program is just showing me the map chunks that I selected. It's showing a total of 6 chunks, which is about right. If it said 600, then I would know that I made a mistake somewhere. Probably I forgot to remove the last digit, or I just messed up a number. So it looks right, so I'm going to push Y and enter to say yes, save it. So now I have added Twiggy's bar to my spawn point list. So if I choose option 1, fix loot response, I should see Twiggy in there, and I do. It's down there, number 12. So now what would happen if I were to choose Twiggy's? Well, it would refresh that whole area I just selected. So if it's already kind of refreshed, and there's nothing to show, so let's first mess it up. I can break this window. Break this window. and maybe drop some stuff on the ground here and barricade this. So now I've made a mess here, slightly. It's not that bad. I could have blown the place up or something. And so now I just need to either move out of the cell, the loaded cell, so that the map is, this area of the map that I want to refresh is no longer loaded. So I just move far enough away that the area is not loaded. Sometimes hard to guess how far away that is, but that's probably far enough here. And so now I've moved out of the way, so no one has those map chunks loaded. Make sure nobody's there if it's an online server. Either boot everybody off or just shut the server down first. If it's single player, you just move away or quit the game. And then I choose number 12 and it says it's refreshed it. So let's go back. We're already driving. And so we should now see that the area is fixed. Better not crash again. Should be restored to its former glory. And so you see the windows I broke, they're all fixed. There's no planks inside on the floor anymore. The whole building could have been burnt down to a crisp or blown up, and you can just restore it back by choosing option 1, choosing the area you want to restore, and it will restore it back to its former glory. So that's option 1 and option 2. Option 3, backup chunks. Now where that would come in handy most of the time is if you're just backing up your base. Like let's say this is my base and I keep my precious items on the floor here. Oops. How do I stop this? Okay, so I've dropped all my nails on the floor. But that's fine because this is my base and I can do what I want with it. And I'll, you know, it's easy to do with any base. I'll barricade the wall, the windows. So now this is my base and I want to back it up in case it burns down or somebody breaks in or steals it. So in the case of a single player, these changes I made to this building aren't going to take an effect until I leave the area or quit the game. Then the game will save those chunks into the files in the map directory. So I have to quit before I can make a backup. And I'll choose option 3, name my backup Twiggy's base backup. And it wants to know the coordinates again, so like before, 1205, 680, 1205, 680, 1207, 679. It's asking me if it's correct. It looks correct to me, so I click yes. Now, where did it save? It makes a folder in the place you're running the tool from with the name you gave it, which I believe is this one. And so these are the map chunks it backed up. So all I would have to do is paste those chunks back into the map if I ever needed to load the backup. If, for example, we can go in game and totally destroy the base and steal the nails off the floor, and then restore the backup, and it will all be back to where it was. So I can take all these nails. It's kind of interesting. No, let's not take all the nails, too lazy. So I took most of the nails, and let's blow the place up this time. Okay, so I'd say that's pretty destroyed, so now I need to either leave the area or quit the game. And then my backup, which was saved in the folder I am running the map tool in, I take it, copy those files, just copy and replace them back into your map folder, and that's it. So when I come back, I should see my base be restored to the way it was when I made the backup, with my planks on the doors. The fire's still here, it seems. So my planks are there. All my nails are still here. So my backup worked. So that's option number 3, but backup chunks. So option number 4, auto backup listener. I don't think anyone's gonna be able to use that unless you're running an online server with a website on the same dedicated server as your Project Zomboid server, and you could use this to have people send backup requests through the website to this tool, but yeah, no one's likely going to have any use for that. So option 5 is fill map. Now what that means is if I choose option 5, fill map, it's going to ask me fill with what? And I've got an option of water, grass, or forest. And this kind of does what you'd expect it to do. It will fill the selected area with whatever type of tile you chose: water tiles, forest tiles, or grass tiles. So if it was grass tiles, you know, it would fill this all with grass tiles, making it all just grass. Kind of like it disappeared. So let's do that then. So first I gotta leave the area, and I'll choose grass, and like always we need the points. 1205, 680. And was like 1207 and 679. So are you sure you want to save over these chunks with mapgrass.bin? And I'll say yes. And I'll go back into my game and see if indeed Twiggies has just turned into some grass tiles. And it's disappeared as expected into grass. And so obviously I could have chose water and it would have turned into water. You could make yourself a little pool or fishing area right beside your base, I guess. Or a forest for foraging. By just filling the area with forest grass or water. So copy area, copy and paste 6 and 7. It kind of does what you expect it to do. So what should I copy here? Can copy let's try and copy this fence and paste it up here to make it longer. So what I would do, I'll start by choosing copy area. Also I'm going to quit here just ahead of time. And let's see, here's 1206.684 is where I'm at here. 1206.684. And I'll copy down to, I don't know, here. I'll add this much length here. $1209.683. 1209. So that's 3 chunks long. And I'm actually just going to put the same Y I put before because I don't need to select any more width than a chunk. It's asking me, is it correct? 684. It's kind of hard to guess because this fence is right on the end of the chunk, it seems. I'm not sure if it's part of 684 or 683, but we'll try 684. So I copy these chunks and then I choose paste. And where do I paste them from? Start pasting from the leftmost point. So I copied 3 chunks downward, right? So this is 1206. So if I count 3 chunks up this direction, I'm 1203. 1203.684. 1203.684. And paste and see if that worked. So the fence should be longer now. You could also use this to just like copy your base into another location. Copy and paste your base make two of your bases right beside each other. So the fence is indeed longer, and you're probably wondering what the hell all this is, and that was there before I copied this fence. It was kind of a failed experiment, so you can ignore all that randomness up there. And so to see the fence is longer, of course we're forced to copy a full chunk. We can't copy any less than one chunk. That's why you see kind of the parking lot is kind of this area of the parking lot down here was copied to up here. So it's what you would expect it to be. It's copying and pasting areas of the map. Delete chunks. Okay, so deleting chunks will basically do the same thing as option 1 and 2, the loop spawn refresher thing. It will just restore the map to its former glory when the map was first loaded, when the server was first launched, when the game was first made, kind of thing. So I can actually use that to fix all of this mess. I can fix this Gigamart which was burnt down, and I'll even restore all this stuff I pasted up there earlier in a failed experiment. So first I'll quit. So the idea is just to select option 8, delete chunks, and select an area you want to restore. So it's going to be kind of a big area here. I'll start all the way from here. I want to copy, restore this whole area here like this. So my leftmost point somewhere around here, 1200, 687. And just move your mouse to the right. Stop right before my Twiggy base. And everything in the rectangle made with those 2 points, rectangle in this fashion, will be restored. So 1205, 681, 1205, 681, 42 chunks, that's about right. It's a big area. Delete the chunks, yes. So the chunks have been deleted, which means, according as far as the game is concerned, those areas of the maps were never explored, which means as soon as I go to that area, I kind of deleted my car, didn't I? Oh well. So the Gigamart is no longer burnt down, and my pasting abomination up here is fixed. And even most of the fence that I pasted was restored, because I didn't quite select enough if I wanted to restore this fence extension I made. So that's option number, what was it, 8? No, yeah, option 8. So option 9 and 10 are quite self-explanatory. Backup character, restore character. So what that'll do if I choose backup character, successfully copied, it will take the directory that it's working with, which is this sandbox single player file, and it makes a folder called character save backup, and it copied my character into there. So if I were to die for some reason, how can I die? Let's see here. Do I have that kill yourself mod installed? Looks like I do. So let me just kill myself. Item, pen, paper, crap. I don't know the code name for a piece of paper, so forgive me while I look that up. Paper. What is the code name for a piece of paper? Sheet of paper. Sheet paper. Okay. So, add item, sheet paper, and I write a suicide note, and I read it, and I get myself a knife, and now I can kill myself. Did I make the backup already? I don't know. I'll try once more. Successfully copied. And so now I'll kill myself. I'm talking even though I'm dead. Okay, so how do I quit now? Okay, I guess I'll just quit manually. So as you can see, I died. So I will now choose option 10 to restore my character. Successfully copied. And I will try and rejoin and see if I'm not dead. And it looks like I'm alive. I'm alive and well. So backing up my character worked as well. So that's everything this tool can do. A few things to know is if you're using this, you can if you're using this as you play on an online server, you can still back up your base, but pasting chunks and stuff and filling the map obviously is not going to alter the map on the server, because the server's map takes priority over the client's map when you're playing multiplayer. So if you want to do this on your server, you have to put this tool on your the computer which is running your server, and set the directory to wherever the map your server is running on is, and then you can alter the map on your online server. But you can't copy your base, you know, if you're just a client playing on some online server and you were to back up chunks just the way I showed you. You can copy your base and say paste it into single player file. So obviously you can't be altering online maps just from being a random client. This is no hacking software or anything like that. And the same thing goes as if you're using this on an online server. Backup character, restore character is not going to work, because characters are not stored on the server, they're stored on the client's local machine. So I think that's everything you need to know, and I hope this tool might be of use to you. Thanks.